Welcome everybody to PFL Season 20, titled Team Fight Tournament. I am your Commissioner Drac, and I am joined by...
Hi, it's me, Thomas. What's up, guys?
We got Thomas here, PFL veteran.
Yeah.
So we're here to explain what this whole team fight tournament thing is about. Explain the rules, explain the format, show off the doc that you probably have all looked at, but we're just going to explain it a little bit.
Yeah, we wanted to try a new approach this season as we've been doing things. I don't want to say the exact same way, but we've been following a pretty similar formula for almost the entire time, to my knowledge. I don't think it's really shooken up this much at all. Although, I also think that it's not too much of a shakeup, as it mimics some of the conference cups, like, sort of things that we used to do. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
At a base level,
similar.
we're still going to have Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, singles format, 1v1, 6v6, 6 Pokemon for 6 Pokemon. But we're sort of reorganizing the scoring, so to say. So let's jump on over and actually look at our teams. As you can see, we've got all the villainous teams: Team Rocket, Team Magma and Aqua, Galactic Plasma, Flare, and Skull. Unfortunately, no Team Yell. They were on the chopping block.
I mean, if somebody wanted Yell, I guess they could switch now, but I don't know. I think these teams are a little
I kind of
bit more
already made the
iconic.
graphics and stuff.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so 3 people to a team. This is a departure from 4 or 5 to a conference that we've had. However, you're playing as a team and you're winning as a team. You're losing as a team. So what that means is that each week you are going to be playing essentially a best of 3 of like individual matches. So if I pop over to the schedule over here, you see Rocket 1 versus Magma 1, Rocket 2 versus Magma 2, Rocket 3 versus Magma 3. So that would correspond to Murphy versus Mike, Carmine versus Nigeria, Spellcaster Max versus M1. And then whichever team gets 2 or more wins, they get a win in the win column. The other one will get a loss in the loss column. So that is essentially how the scoring works and how we're going to be seeding. Now you might notice that there's these like battle, like 0B and +0. The B stands for battle, so that's the individual number of battles you've won. So let's say Murphy beats Mike, Carmine beats Nigeria, and M1 beats Skullcaster Max. So they would get 2 battle wins, Magma would get 1 battle win, and then the pluses are just the sum of the plus you've won of each game. So
this way we have 2 ways to tie break, which I think even makes it clearer. Like it's almost like adding another decimal point of accuracy.
Exactly. I really, really hope there's no tie breaks.
No,
really
I mean,
hope.
I mean, that's just however it pans out. But typically, we don't have a ton of tie breaks in our league.
That's
mean,
true.
It's kind of just a random thing. But
the tie breaks have kind of been alleviated by us doing the wildcard play-in games. That's sort of given us a bigger umbrella. That's an aside. So the order that you see here is listed on the doc is not necessarily the order that's going to be going by week. We are giving every single team the option to switch around their order for week 1. You also have the option to not switch around the order. So, Carmine and Murphy might want to switch. So it's just adding a little bit of randomness to the system. So, you're not necessarily drafting against the 7 people that you're going to fight throughout the season, or the 6 people you're going to fight throughout the season.
And even if you could draft thinking that you're going to have these 6 people in your rotation, but what if they switch order and you switch order? So then it's realistically you just want to draft, as always, your best team, and then sort of potentially maybe pick up a counter later on down the line with an add drop or a trade. That's why we try to keep it so flexible with our tiers.
Exactly.
With our schedule or rosters, I should say.
And as you can see on the schedule we have over here, since there's an odd number of teams, one team per week is going to get a bye. So that's going to replace the bye week we normally have in the middle of the season, where we give the players like basically 2 weeks to get their battle in instead of having to be 1 week. Each team's just going to have a bye each week.
Just how odd numbers work.
Yeah, just how odd numbers work. Now, let's talk about playoffs. We've talked about how the seeding works. We've talked about the win-loss battle point system. When we get to playoffs, the first thing you'll notice is that there's no Seed 7 in here, in anywhere in this. That's because Seed 7's getting dropped off. You have to play for something. You can't be last place and make it to playoffs, was kind of our thought.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just is a standard sort of tournament play, right?
Right. And if we had 8 teams, then Seed 7 and 8 would be dropped off by the time playoffs roll around.
Yep.
Consequently, since there's only 6 teams making it to bracket, Seeds 1 and 2 are getting a bye because you earned it. You earned it, Seeds 1 and 2. You go straight to semis.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's how we've always structured how our playoffs work. If there's an odd number of people going into the playoffs, somebody gets a bye.
Yeah,
and usually the person in first, because that's the incentive of winning all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If there's no incentive to be the best, then it's probably always better to be consistent and play for a second and third place.
Exactly.
In the in the overall order. I don't know.
And in our
we want to incentivize guys.
And in our singles format, we sort of had the same structure by having the leaders of each conference being seeded directly into the playoffs, and then the wild cards were sorted by record.
Mm-hmm.
So this is sort of mimicking that same idea. Now, one more thing. Before you even get to quarters, after week 7, you're going to have the option to change around your team order, because otherwise every single match of playoffs would be a guaranteed rematch. So you're going to get to re-rank your team or not re-rank your team. So
again, that's a mind game that you won't know the full answer of until
exactly
we post it as the official.
Exactly.
So
we're gonna keep that under wraps. We're not gonna reveal it the second somebody changes their order. We're going to keep a log of it. Then right before playoffs, just reveal the orders.
Yeah. Obviously with enough prep time for everybody, we're not making it. We're not trying to make it more difficult on you guys, but we just want to make it as fair as humanly possible, because I think that also just adds to the competitive nature of it. I think because we're shaking up so much, we want to, try to do the best that we can to keep the rules, straightforward.
Right. And there's sort of always this mind game in a rematch of like, well, I know what they brought last time. Are they going to bring the exact same thing? Or are they going to change it up? Like, what adjustments do they think I'm going to make? Mm-hmm. And while that is interesting, and at a certain point in our league, at least in the singles format, it's inevitable that there may be a rematch. You still like to have as many fresh battles as possible, I think.
Yeah, I think it makes it a little more interesting. We've played we have a lot of new people this season, which I think is wonderful. But we also have a lot of returning people, and we all know how we like to battle. Mm-hmm. So a lot of these battles come down to knowing the player instead of knowing the game, and I think it'll be more knowing the game a little bit, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah. So like Carmine, I mean, he's technically returning this. This is like second season. Mm-hmm. I mean, Spellcaster Max, Nolan, Swampello, your buddy Eric, all mm-hmm. new people, all a variety of experience or play style. So
exactly, it's gonna be really fresh this season. I think
there's
gonna be the hope. A lot of things that are fresh.
I'm pretty excited for this.
Yeah. Please keep an eye on the move pool additions as well. That is going to be a very helpful tab this season.
Right now, that is something something good to touch on. We are playing the National Dex Champions Draft format, which is not an official a Smogon tier. Mm-hmm. There's a special server somebody with a big heart set up that actually implements nat decks with all the champions changes. So move pool additions, ability changes like Unseen Fist now only a quarter of the damage going through protect, that kind of stuff. That also
cool that someone took the time, right?
Yeah.
Super cool.
That also implements the nerfs to sleep and the nerfs to paralysis as well, which is important, and the nerf to freeze. So that's also important stuff. So like hypnosis, or if you sleep an opponent, it's max 2 turns of sleep, period.
So that also means all the move changes, like the PP changes, went into effect.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So again, just really keep an eye. Make sure that you're paying attention. And don't just copy and paste your sets from prior years and think it's going to work out perfectly.
Yeah. And the client, the new Showdown client, it works basically the exact same. You'll be able to see all the moves on the new Showdown server, so you're not going to have to cross-reference, but it's good to go back and be like, Aegis / gets Poltergeist now. That's something good to keep in mind, because that's not necessarily something on your radar, but this is a quick sort of overview of the new stuff.
Also, shout out to the icons being on the tier list now.
Thank you for bringing that up. That took a little bit of work, but I'm proud I made it work. The icons will also show up on the rosters too, so if you
that's gonna be nice. I like that.
Durant here, he'll show up in Murphy's if you give it a second. I said if you give it, there it goes.
There it goes. Yeah, nice.
There's a lot of like cross tab querying, so it's a little slow, but it works.
Yep. Just gotta give it a little sec. That's okay.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I want to touch on when it comes to drafting, obviously you guys are drafting both individually and as a team. If for some reason you guys want to be completely psycho insane and draft, but in the first 4 rounds draft one person's entire team, you're technically allowed to do that because we allow week 0 trades. I don't know if that's necessarily the best option because you're giving everybody else more picks of the top tier Pokemon, but it's interesting that you can do that. I don't know if it's good.
Unless your other 2 teams are flying so under the radar.
True.
It's interesting because there's less teams than people that we've ever had, right? I think this league at its lowest has been about 8 or 10.
Now we have 21, which is an all-time high.
But we have 21 people. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So as we like to do, your value selection and your really digging deep into the tiers will be important this season, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe more so than ever. Really give that tier list a look over.
Right, because
we did find any value.
We did move a lot of things down, like a lot of things down, because we generally saw that people are picking lots of 40s and 60s and then taking the good guys from the upper tiers, which is technically allowed, but I guess that means we've sort of stripped value from the mid tier, so we kind of moved stuff more towards the middle to encourage drafting.
We want more things to be used, right?
Exactly.
I think this game is so much more interesting when somebody brings something that you've never seen, or I don't want to say never seen, but very rarely see and does something cool with it. I know if you're on the receiving end of it and you don't have something to deal with it, it feels really bad, but it also makes for really interesting Pokemon.
Right.
Maybe that's me as a commentator more so than
we always love to see heat go off.
Exactly. I think we love to
hopefully it's easier to draft your favorites.
The crazy stuff. Yes.
I think that does it though. I think that's everything really we had to say.
I think so, yeah. We set up the chats in Discord. Thank you to Mike for doing that. So you can talk to your team, and there's a place for it. Please use it. I know not everybody is always super active on Discord. I am a culprit of that myself. I'm not super active in our own Discord. But please communicate with your team. We want this to be fun and interesting. We want this to maybe even come back maybe in another 20 seasons, who knows? But you know what I mean? Like, I think being able to reinvent after doing this for, God, I've been involved in this at least 9 years, going on 10. So the fact that people are still interested in doing this and we can think of something to spice it up now,
Yeah,
it's cool.
And at this point, I've been in this league more seasons than I haven't been. So yeah.
Right? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that getting all makes you feel old, doesn't it?
I'm withering away.
Bro, I was in on season 3, I believe, was my first season.
I think season 8 was my first season.
Shout out season 3.
But I think that wraps it up. Hopefully everybody enjoys this new format and it's fun to collaborate.
Yeah, I think we've known each other for a while, and the new people know somebody here, so we should all get together and have more fun about it. So hopefully that's what happens this season.
And draft is in a week. This will be Drax signing off.
All right, bye guys.
Bye bye.
Take care.